I'm Lexus, and today for the Beat episode, I have Jenny Gaul, who is the Executive Director of the Joy of Music nonprofit organization. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Awesome, I'm glad you could join us. So how long have you been involved with Joy of Music?
So I was hired to be their Executive Director in 2022, so July 2022, so
Okay.
just over 3 years.
Were you ever involved, like, as a student? Were you ever playing any
No,
instruments with them?
actually, I was looking, so I had been living in China and I was looking to come back to the US and had been interviewing at different places all over, and Joy of Music was something that I had come across, and I loved their mission and the vision, and so I keep wanting to say audition. I didn't audition, I interviewed, and then they hired me, so
Nice.
when I was finally able to leave China, I started the position.
Okay. Do you have a musical background? Is that what drew you to it?
Yeah, so my master's is in piano, performance and pedagogy, but then I actually ended up going into arts administration, so working with different organizations because my husband was a professional jazz musician and we needed healthcare. So I ended up interning with the Philadelphia Orchestra, worked in Philly for a while, then I went to New York City. I worked for a place called the Center for Arts Education, worked for a place called Young Audiences, and then ended up as the executive director of a place called Turtle Bay Music School, which is a little bit like Joy of Music, community music.
Yeah.
So that's sort of my background in all of that.
Nice. So what do you do at Joy of Music? Like, what's your...
Oh, well, sometimes I unclog toilets. I do a lot. So as I'm the head administrative position, I work with a staff of 5 full-time colleagues and then 2 part-time colleagues. We have 50 faculty, music faculty, so I'm also on the music faculty as well. Work with the board of directors as a 501c3 not-for-profit. The board is responsible for making sure that we follow through on all the mission and the vision. Fundraising, events, programs.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty much everything. We're a small team, so we do everything that we need to do.
Wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
So what was the inspiration behind wanting to work with them? Like, what drew you to seeing their message?
Oh, that's a great question. It was funny, when I first looked at them, I actually was like, no, I'm not gonna be involved with this. It was funny, the website was very old, and it was a founder-run organization, and a lot of times when you're coming in after founders who have put the whole thing together, it can be very difficult. So I had been interviewing at all these other positions, and there was something about it that kept drawing me back. And I really didn't know Worcester, but I finally decided I'm gonna put an application in, and the founder contacted me, one of the founders contacted me, and I really liked that person, and I loved what they had to say about the school and about Worcester, and then I ended up interviewing with board of directors, faculty, staff, and everybody was passionate about the organization. There were so many really good musicians involved, and so it was a surprise. I remember calling my mom and being like, of all the places, I think this is where I want to be.
Good place to end up after coming back from China.
Absolutely.
So what's the essence of the organization, and what role does it play in the city of Worcester?
So it started in 1986. Wendy Webster Artizone was the founder. She is a pianist, and she believed passionately in access, inclusion, accessibility. It started originally as a music and movement program, and then it was, she was doing such great work that people became interested in doing more, and she started hiring faculty, and then it grew and grew, and she worked with her husband, Rich Artizone, who's a trombone player, and the organization grew. They used to be, I'm gonna get this wrong, in the Unitarian Church, and there was a fire, and they needed to relocate, so they ended up purchasing this property on 1 Gorham Street, which is off of Lincoln. It was a former nursing home. And it was actually a brilliant purchase because the entire thing is fully accessible. They poured themselves into renovating, they put in a concert hall. So what we are now is we have 50 faculty, we have a student body of almost 500, all ages, so that's infants all the way through adults. We have over 100 adults. We have ensembles, so we have orchestra, string programs, jazz, rock, world percussion. And it's really an interesting place because $200,000 a year goes into tuition assistance. So the idea is to make sure that anybody who wants music in their life can come in and can do that. We also do outreach programming, so we partner with, right now we partner with the Worcester Refugee Assistance Project, we partner with Head Start, we partner with Great Brook Valley, Worcester Housing Authority. So overall, the goal is to be a welcoming, inclusive, safe space where anybody who wants to connect with music in whatever way that is can do that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Is there any way for people in the community to donate or help with the tuition assistance?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, fundraising, so about $500,000 of our budget comes from either donor gifts, grants, events. So on our website, which is www.JOMP, which stands for joyofmusicprogram.org, you can go through there and you can donate. We do an annual appeal where we've been very fortunate because Wendy Artizone, the founder, very beloved figure, put together some wonderful, wonderful support. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you see students, you said of all ages, are they mostly adults? Do you see teenagers?
I would say the largest, well, so we have a program for infants through 7, which has actually gotten quite large. And then about 8-year-old through senior, we have that's probably our biggest population. And I think a lot of that is because we also have the ensemble. So our orchestra has about 42 student musicians in it, string ensembles. And then adults are about 100, more than 100 adults, which is, Mass Chan, actually UMass Chan, we have a lot of the medical community there. We also partner with Worcester Children's Chorus, so they're housed with us. They're their own organization. So we've got kids flowing through there. And then Seven Hills Symphony, which was started by a doctor at UMass Chan. It's a community orchestra, amateur musicians, mostly medical professionals, and they're with us on Sundays. So we're really, I always say we absolutely reflect the true community of Worcester. You will see everybody there.
Yeah, you see everyone, no matter the background, experience.
Yep.
So speaking of experience, can somebody that doesn't necessarily know too much about an instrument, are they able to come in and kind of learn, or is it more of like experienced?
No, it's so one of the goals behind a community music organization is you can come in with no background, you can be somebody that is returning to an instrument, somebody who's progressing. A lot of not a lot, but there's been people that have gone on to professional music careers. The bass player in the New York Phil? Was a Jomp alum. And so that's one of the very cool things is that it's very inclusive. Anybody who's interested in music, and that doesn't have to just be Western classical music. That can be jazz, that can be rock, that can be Latin music. Our goal is really to just help people on their personal journey, but then also give them ways to make music in a more social way, so through ensembles.
Gotcha. Are there any stories of success from people that have started in the Joy of Music program that have gone on, like you said, to New York or Chicago or other cities? Yeah,
there's quite a few actually. It's been interesting because every once in a while somebody will be like, oh my gosh, I saw so-and-so. And again, I don't have a long time with the organization, but somebody said there was a musician in one of the halftime shows for the Super Bowl who come from Jomp. There's definitely people out there professionally, but also really interesting, a lot of people have gone into the medical field. They're lawyers, they're doctors, but music is still a big part of their life.
Yeah.
So I think that the impact goes beyond just making people professional musicians. It's really making them, well, I shouldn't say making them good people, but I think that it's a field of expression that brings out the best in people.
Yeah. Are vocalists also encouraged, or is it strictly instrumental?
Yeah, I should say, it's so funny we get so instrument-centric, but yes, vocalists, very much so.
Yeah.
We have some really wonderful teachers, Sarah Callanan, Jane Shivik, they're all people that are, I think, have very solid careers in Worcester and beyond. We also have our own vocal ensembles. We have a program called Little Voices, which is for 5 to 7-year-olds. Then they go up into our youth vocal ensemble, which is 8 to 12, and then our teen vocal ensemble, and then also, obviously, people can study individually.
Gotcha. So for different ages where people fit and place
Yeah,
themselves.
trying to find a path for music making.
Other than the tuition assistance for the community to help out with, are there any volunteer options or ways for people to just help out and give their time?
Yeah, so with our classes for little ones, I actually have a lot of volunteers, sophomore, junior, people coming in to do community hours that come and help me in the class.
Oh, okay.
Which is great. We always, we've been working with somebody through a Boy Scout troop that wanted to come and volunteer, and they're making shelving for us because one of the things we also provide are instruments. If somebody comes and they don't have access to that, we try to provide that. So we have a lot of different ways people can volunteer to help participate at concerts because we do have a performance venue. And then also we see a lot of our alums kind of feed back in. So we have Jomp alum who are now on our faculty. We have somebody who goes to Worcester State who is a Jomp alum who is also now our admin assistant. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
So how does the, is it a school year or is it a calendar year?
Yeah, it's an academic year. So we start in September. We wrap in June, we take a small break, and then we do summer programming.
Okay.
So usually about 6 weeks of summer programming.
Nice. So it's a pretty long time you're working with
Yeah.
musicians. Are there any hardships that you've faced or the organization has faced?
I
Maybe
think-
with COVID or the coming
Yeah,
years?
I think COVID, again, I wasn't here for COVID, but I know that it was a really difficult period of time where they had to pivot and go online for lessons. Obviously, it hit the ensembles really hard. They also had the fire that originally, took them out of the space that they had been renting and got them into the space they're in now. I would say right now the political climate's very difficult. Funding has obviously been slashed across for everything. The National Endowment for the Arts got hit. We're fortunate in that we didn't have grants through that, but we did see impacts, and organizations around Worcester have also seen those impacts.
Yeah.
So I think we're all very mindful of, what's happening with the economy, how can that affect our community?
Yeah.
And one of the things we're looking to do is, we did not raise tuition this year because we didn't want to put that burden onto anybody.
Yeah.
We're looking for a lot of very low-cost ways for people to still be able to come in if they can't afford full lessons, and if we run out of tuition assistance, we currently have a waiting list. We never want to say no, you can't get in here, so we use these ensembles and classes and as a way for families to at least come in and get started.
Yeah. Is there like a capacity limit to how many students you can take?
Yeah, I think we're hitting it. Well, it's funny. We've had a huge boom in the last 2 years, and one of the biggest things is our parking lot only has space for 29.
So many.
You can park on the street, but we hit on Tuesdays. We're running 100 lessons on top of the fact that we've got ensembles in there. So Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays we are solidly booked, and our biggest hours are 3:30 to now we're 9 o'clock at night. Mondays and Fridays we're open on Saturdays as well. Sundays we have an orchestra there, but we don't officially run classes. So it's it's a good problem to have. We're really happy to see the organization thriving,
Yeah.
but people do get a little annoyed about the parking,
Especially in the city too.
Oof, yeah.
How can someone access this opportunity to play music with others in an ensemble or to learn?
So for the ensembles, we're different than something like Worcester Youth Symphony. We're non-auditioned, but we are teacher recommended. So what that means is that we do look to know, that the level will be appropriate. So our orchestra is our biggest ensemble, but we have string grouping. So we have strings, a group of. We call it JOMC, which stands for Joy of Music, String Ensemble number 1, which is little ones that are just starting out, and then you can proceed to JOMC 2, Sinfonietta, orchestra, then the jazz ensembles and the rock are very inclusive as well. And then the vocal ensembles are a really good way to get involved because you don't necessarily need to have any background to come in. You get that opportunity during the classes.
Is it easier to go online or to go in person to the
Actually, we welcome both. Online, I think, is always easier for people, so they can go. We try to be really good and try to make the website as clear as possible, but then also we welcome any kind of inquiries. We always welcome people to walk in. We do have people walk in just to see the facility and it's a big journey to take, especially for families. Starting in music, a lot of times if it's something that catches for the person, you're not talking about just 6 months. You're talking about, we have people that have started at age 5, graduated, gone on. Actually, our associate director started at age 5. Wow. She's an amazing cellist, professional in the area, but also the associate director now jumps. So she's got a long history there.
Yeah, seems like once you're there, you like to stay for a long period of time. It just shows
we love that.
Yeah, the connection in the community. Are there any events or other information that you want to give out about?
Yeah, absolutely. We do run most of our events and concerts are free. Well, actually, they're all free. We always accept donations gladly, but everybody's welcome to come in. We do a faculty concert series. We host a lot of free events, free classes. And then we also have in March, we were really fortunate to receive a residency from the violinist Midori, who's an internationally known violinist, and she's also very important with advocating for social programming and community. So we have been chosen as a site for a Midori residency, which means she's going to be with us for a week. She is going to be working with our students, but also we're facilitating with Neighborhood Strings. We'll also get access, trying to work with Holy Cross. We're working with Mechanics Hall Brown Bag Series, so all of that's coming together. So there'll be opportunities there.
Awesome. Are all the events taking place at the same place? Do you go around the city? Or?
Some of them, yeah. So most of them are at the Joy of Music program. But for example, the Midori, there will be a Brown Bag Series at Mechanics Hall. In May, we do an orchestra gala, so our orchestras and ensembles go to Mechanics Hall, and that is Wednesday, May 13th, 2026 this year. We do something called Jompathon, which is a music marathon. It's a fundraiser, but also an opportunity for students to use their music. And that runs the last Friday and Saturday of January, and it runs, Friday night is our honor series, so we invite students who are really showing a lot of passion for music to play. Saturday, usually from about 8 in the morning till 8 o'clock at night, hundreds of performers, so people are always welcome to come in and watch that.
That's awesome. Seems like you do a lot for the community, and I'm glad that you could come in today and share your information about the organization and what you do for the community. That is all for today. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of The Beat, and we'll see you next time.